Ollie, hi, how are you?
Hi, Paul, you okay?
Very good, buddy. Very good. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm a little bit late.
Oh, that's fine. I think, no, you're still early.
Still
Not pretty
early,
yet.
but I like to be here at 5 2. So,
Okay. Yeah.
had a good day, my friend.
Yeah, good. I'm very excited about this. This is my first kind of webinar, so this will be a new experience for me.
Good. Yeah, it's good fun. I mean, mine was a couple of a couple of weeks ago, and kind of since then, you just kind of getting the flow of it. So it's all good. All good.
For sure. Yeah. Got lots to talk about, so I'll try and fit it in.
I know you have, buddy. I know. So I'll do once everyone jumps on, I'll do a really quick intro, and then pass over to you, and I'll let everyone know what kind of time frames that you're working towards and what have you. So I'll just kind of leave everything to you for, or do you want me to kind of drop in and chip in, or do you want to just kind of leave it? What do you prefer?
I mean, it's up to you. If you have any questions or anything, just hop on and just
Yeah.
ask me them, and then yeah, anything that you think would be important to talk about, then just let me know.
Cool.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Coming up to 2 o'clock is good. People joining. Good. Everyone can hear. How's everyone's day going? All okay? I think I recognise a couple of names and faces from earlier on. So thanks for coming back. It's nice to see you're not bored of us yet.
Nice. Okay, everyone can hear. Okay, so that's good.
Good stuff. Okay, so look, I'm sure we're going to get more people joining and what have you. So we'll get going. It's 2 o'clock, so we'll get going and let everyone know that what's going on. First things first. Thanks to everyone logging in again. It's great to have you all on board. It's nice to see kind of familiar faces and names popping up. So thanks for all your support. As always, you're not here to listen to me. Oliver has joined us today. Just a really quick intro on who Ollie is. I'm sure he'll go into a little bit more detail with that in a second. But Ollie was a bit of a YouTube sensation. He doesn't like to kind of call himself that, but he built a huge name for himself on his YouTube channels a few years ago and amassed a huge kind of following and what have you, and rode the crest of the wave with that. And now he's kind of moved into, kind of transitioned into a bit more of a social media expert, and is a freelance social media content creator and helps brands, improve their social media presence and what have you. So Ollie and I have been in conversation for quite some time now. We do quite a lot of work together. I vouch for Ollie's work. It's amazing. It's great. And he's helped me a lot in my journey with social media. And Ollie was keen to kind of come on board and give you guys some tips and what have you. So breaking it down, all being well, we're going to kind of focus on a different platform every single week, and then kind of give us a little bit of a structure to grow those accounts, to get the most out of them. And today we're going to start with Instagram. So I'll pass over to you, Ollie, and if anyone's got any questions, give us a shout in the group chat. Ollie's got a meeting with the NHS at 2:30, so we're going to keep it kind of nice and condensed, but still give you lots of info in the meantime. So give us a shout if there's any questions that you want to add.
For sure. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Paul. So yeah, like Paul said, I started off doing YouTube, and it all started when I went to LA, and I was like, okay, I need to kind of record this somehow, and because it's a trip of a lifetime for me. And so I decided to blog it, and I enjoyed blogging it. And then I came home and I was like, well, if it's something I enjoy, then I'm going to keep doing it. And then, yeah, 5 years 5 years later, I've managed to reach over 150,000 subscribers on YouTube, as well as over 22,000 on Instagram. So yeah, I've been around the block with social media for sure. So yeah, so today's about Instagram. Like Paul said, I'll be answering questions at the end. So if there's anything that you want to kind of ask me throughout this, just pop them in the chat and then I'll get to the questions at the end. Okay, so let's start with some facts about Instagram first. Instagram actually has 5 million users daily, which is an obscene amount. It's the second most engaged network on the internet. So Facebook obviously coming first. I think that's because Facebook hits every single demographic you can think of. 83% of Instagram users have said that they actually go into Instagram to discover new products or services, which is great if you're a brand trying to grow your brand account. And as well as Instagram is actually gains 4 times more interaction than Facebook. Because of things like hashtagging is much more easily discoverable than on Facebook, as well as Instagram stories as well, because Instagram stories have their own kind of features within it. And the more you kind of use them and the more people kind of engage with them, Instagram like that. So they push your content further so they can show you to more people. Now, I've got, I had a few questions recently. They're quite common questions that keep popping up. So I thought I would collate them and kind of answer them as they go along. And hopefully this will help you all if this is what you're looking to do. So the first things first is, what should your profile photo be? In terms of, because I'm going to split it up between brand and personal accounts, because they are two different things. So with a brand account, obviously you want your logo on there. Humans are very visual beings, so as soon as they kind of see your logo, it kind of just automatically in their mind completes your page, and they know exactly what you're getting, what they're getting out of your profile. When it comes to personal, I think it's good to have a clear image of yourself, maybe like a medium close-up from like the top of your head to like your chest, so it's nice and clear, especially for job seekers, because I'm sure as many of you know, through these past webinars, there's been advice about social media and how if you're applying for a job, it's more than likely that employers will look into your social media. So it would be nice for them to kind of go into your Instagram account and see how clean and aesthetically pleasing it will be. Secondly, I think this is a good thing to do whether you're a brand or a personal account, is to switch your account to a business account, so you can see who your demographic is, who is actually engaging, and when your followers are online at certain times and certain days of the week. So yeah, and then the next part of it would be your bio. A lot of people have different thoughts on their bio. Sometimes it's about me, or it's the kind of details that the brand or the person does. For a brand, I think it would be good to put something like, say if you're selling watches, or okay, yeah, let's do like personal development, Mindful Minds. Say the company's called Mindful Minds, and you're trying to sell personal development courses and things like that. Then the best way to do that would be to kind of introduce, just kind of give it personality, really, because people like personality, especially on social media. They want to feel like they're talking to a human, interacting with a person, rather than just like a whole big conglomerate of a company. Yeah, so if your personal account, you kind of, it's much different. You can kind of do whatever you want with your bio if it's a personal account, just whatever you feels right for you, to be honest. And that kind of brings me on to the gallery side of things. What should your gallery look like? I think it's really good to have a theme. You can find lots of kind of different themes on Pinterest for inspiration. See, my theme at the moment, I've been through a few themes where I've just like blurred out my background of my photos and did that continuously, and now it's changed to the people in the photos are in color, and then in the background they're like black and white and stuff. I just feel like it's a good contrast. So once you have a theme, you can see clearly when you look out and you can see all the photos all together lined up. It's just very aesthetically pleasing, and it just invites just automatically, subconsciously invites people into your profile and helps the engagement and all things like that. Hashtags are a very useful thing on Instagram. People like to use the most popular hashtags, which is fine. But if you're growing a brand or a personal account, then you want to use hashtags that aren't crazy popular with like 7.2 million other people using the same hashtag. You want to kind of find a lower amount of hashtags to kind of compete with the other posts that are hashtagging those kind of things as well. And then obviously once it kind of grows and things like that, then you'll be able to use bigger hashtags and get more out of it. And again, if you switch to a business account, you'll be able to see how many people are actually coming over to your profile using the hashtags that you've placed, which is really effective, because then you can kind of mold your content into those kind of things. And then the next two questions are kind of the big questions that a lot of people ask, and it's how do you gain likes and how do you gain followers? So obviously I'll split these two up. So first of all, how do you gain likes? For in terms of a brand, a lot of people wouldn't say this would be the best idea, but I think it absolutely is to engage with your competitors, because a lot of consumers can go onto a page and see what they want to see if you're in the same industry. And if you're commenting on their photos and things, the potential consumers can actually obviously see your commenting and check out your page as well. So you would have, because if you have the same kind of audience, they're going to get the same kind of product and yeah, things like that. So if you continuously go out there and communicate with other people, then that's great, especially commenting on other people's photos as well. If you're growing a page or a profile, any comments are literally so complimented and they really appreciate them. I'm sure, like when I started my my social media account, I was getting like 1 or 2 comments, and every comment meant so much to me. So if you were able to do that for someone else, you probably get a great return back, whether that's a follow, like, and a comment. So yeah, but also thing with likes, which also goes along with followers, but I'll get into that in a minute, is consistency. You have to kind of stay consistent in order to even have a chance to even grow it, if that makes sense. So how to gain followers. See, this is a thing where you can do this many different ways, but if you've got a real niche, like say if you were into the law of attraction, say, and you want to make your own law of attraction account full of lots of inspiring quotes and things like that, you would find other pages that are much bigger and get a lot more engagement, and you turn on your notifications so whenever they post, you can go straight over to their account and start interacting with those people that are liking those posts. So that will boost them to give you a profile view and have a look at your profile. And especially when it's really niche like that, you have more of a chance of them converting to being one of your followers and things like that, because they know exactly what they're looking for, and hopefully that's you, to be honest. Just as a whole, social media is a big, it's not just something you can do overnight. It needs nurturing. It's a hobby. So if you can turn social media and Instagram into a hobby and have fun while creating content and, you know, making deadlines to where you want to grow to and things like that, that's when you can get the most out of it, because you don't have any expectations. You're kind of just going with the flow and you're enjoying the process as you go along. So yeah, so imagine a social media account as a seed, and in order for it to grow into like a plant or a flower, you're gonna have to nurture it, you're gonna have to grow it, and you're gonna have to be patient with it and consistent. It's the same thing with the social media. The page is the seed, and the followers and everything that come along with it is the growth. And as soon as you see the shoot, then you know you're off to a really great start, to be honest. And yeah, there's just Instagram is great. It's great for inspiration and just all things like that, to be honest. And you get so many ideas for posts that you want to post. It's at the end of the day, it's your account, it's your canvas, it's your little place on the internet that you can do whatever you want with. And yeah, what's nice about it is that you can see where you've started from your first post, and once you've built up all that content, you can look back and see actually how far you've come, because that always helps you, inspires you to carry on doing it. And you notice how much more content engagement that you get, and things like that. And once you get that feeling, you get inspired to do more and more. And then once you get that feeling, then the rest just comes with it, to be honest. And then by the end of it, you'll be an Instagram pro. But yeah, I guess there's a lot I could say about it, to be honest. Anything else I can say about the stories? Because they're very.
Ollie, can I ask you a question? Whilst we're talking about just while we're talking about like the whole seed, and you know, I like that analogy, because I mean, you know how much you and I have spoken about social media over the last 6 months or so. What would you, if we think about, you know, we all, like you mentioned about the importance of kind of planting that seed, working on it so it grows, and then nurturing it and it grows and grows and grows. What would you say is the kind of optimal amount of, say, for example, posts and comments and what have you? Is there kind of like a sweet spot or kind of specific numbers that people should be doing in terms of X amount of posts a day or X amount of comments and likes on other people's to help grow it?
So when I spoke to Instagram, they told me that you should, if you can, you should post every single day. And I was like, okay, I'm probably not going to do that because that is a lot of content, a lot of pressure you have to put under yourself to stay consistent. But I'd say at least once every 2 days, maybe just between like 3 and 5 posts a week. And they say that you should upload 8 stories a day as well, just to stay in the flow of people's timelines and things like that.
So that's interesting with the stories and what have you. So stories, I don't know, like a load, like loads and loads about stories. So how does that, have you got a little bit more of an insight of how that works and how that gets more visible to people who don't follow you?
Okay, yeah, so you can actually put hashtags into your stories. So a lot of people follow hashtags now. And when you type in that specific hashtag into the search bar, it will come up with its own story. And that's when people can view like other people's stories, but your story would be in there as well. And if it's up to the kind of standard that people are looking for, that could be anything though, that everyone's different. So anyone could, you know, chip into it. That's when that you kind of get more exposure to it. And if you use the same hashtag for kind of every story, then you have more of a chance of multiple posts in your story to go on there as well.
Okay, good stuff. Sorry to interrupt, but I thought it was a great time to ask that question whilst you were just kind of talking about those things. I thought it was a good time to jump in with that. Yeah,
no, that's fine. We do have a question. It's from L. What are the best times to post? See, that's a good point actually. This is why you should go into a business account, because that's when you'll be able to see when the people, your followers, are actually online. Because obviously there's people around the whole entire world that use Instagram, so there's going to be different time zones and stuff, and it's finding where most of your followers come from. That's when you can decide what time to post. But at the same time, if you're just starting out, then I would just try and error it really, because at some points, like when I started my profile, my Instagram profile, I was doing all different times, and like at maybe 11 o'clock at night, 9 a.m., 3 p.m. And it turns out that 7:30 p.m. was a good time for me, because everyone would have just finished dinner, just looking at their phones, because the majority of my audience are from the UK. So yeah, that's probably the best time to post, to be honest. And yeah, what else I like about it is that you can obviously put links into your bio that will take you to any website that you kind of want to go. So if you're selling a product and you're pushing people to buy that product, then that's the easiest way to kind of get them to go through with it. And obviously you can't put links in a Instagram caption because it won't follow through. So what you do is you write the caption, then after the caption, you tag your profile in it. So people can just press the profile name and it will take them back to the page, and they can just press the link in the bio and do it that way. So yeah.
And Ollie, I've got another question for you. With IGTV and live Instagram videos, is that something that we should be using to kind of try and build up the following and the database from there? Is that a good tool to be jumping on?
100%, because especially IGTV, that is really up and coming. It's in its infant at the moment, and more people are using it. Especially if you want to be like an Instagram influencer, they're the people that use it the most, and it's because it's easier for people to discover you on Instagram than it is YouTube, because you have the explore page. Now, if one of your photos on your Instagram grid get put onto the explore page, you'll be placed there for like 72 hours. But if your IGTV video gets put onto the explore page, then it's there for the whole week for everyone to see. So the engagement that way would build up as well. But yeah, I definitely use Instagram stories. You just have to remember to film it a proper way, because obviously Instagram stories is all, IGTV is all portrait. So they like it when you do it portrait and go with the algorithm. So yeah.
And is there a bit of a technique to get your post put on the explore page? Is there a way of doing that, or do they say it's just random?
Yeah, I think it depends on the content that you're putting out. If you're putting out like a skincare routine or something like that, then you kind of got to make it different for people to click on it and engage with it. It's all depends on engagement and things like that. You can promote your you can do paid promotion for your IGTVs and things like that to gain even more exposure. But yeah, it does definitely depend on the content that you create, because yeah, there's some content out there that, to be honest, there's content out there that is pretty good, but they haven't titled it the right way. They haven't made it provocative enough for people to want to click on it. So that's when they start missing out on things. But yeah, and obviously there's a thumbnail cover as well that you have to put onto your IGTV videos, and that's the kind of seller. The title and the thumbnail should work hand in hand. So yeah, you have your title, and then your thumbnail would be something that's adding on to the title, like something that might happen in the video, that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Good stuff. Whilst we're here, does anyone else have any questions for Ollie? If anyone wants to come off mute or drop them in the chat box, then please feel free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Instagram's probably my favorite platform to use, because you can be really creative with it as well. And and especially the whole new filters thing, that's good as well, using those filters, that just the silly ones as well, because they, like the whole gibberish one. Did you see the gibberish filter? Yeah, because you get really funny ones out of that, and then if people like that, then they will share it on. And yeah, it only takes like one person to just spread it around. Okay, Francesca, please ask a question, Ari stories and Insta. If you save stories with hashtags and upload them all together at a certain time, do the hashtag still work? If you save it and then upload it, no, it won't, because it will save as a video rather than like a raw file. So if you do that, then you would have to upload the story again, and then put the hashtags back in on each story. It's okay. I assume the Instagram business profile is paid for. Would you say the investment is? Well, it's not actually. The business, if you turn your business profile, your personal profile into a business profile, it doesn't cost anything. It's just easier for businesses to see where they're heading. and how their growth is doing, to be honest. So it's just more of like an insight of what to do to make it better, because Instagram wants you to do better, because obviously Instagram wants to make more money. So the longer people are on your profile and actually on Instagram, then the more money Instagram's making.
From memory as well, when you change over to a business Instagram account, you have to link it to a Facebook account, don't you? So you either set up a new Facebook page for that or account, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Which is great if you already have a brand account on Facebook, because when you do things like paid ads, it will, because Facebook brought Instagram, so whatever your paid ads are on Instagram will be the same on Facebook, so they kind of cross promote each other. So yeah, definitely. You don't even have to have like a proper, if you're not a brand, you can, and you don't want to connect it to your personal profile on Facebook, then just make one. You don't actually have to show your Facebook profile on Instagram. It's just a kind of way to kind of link them together, make it easier for you.
Good stuff. Well, I think I know that you've got another meeting at past, so we don't want to hold you up. There's one last question coming in though, Ollie. Let's get it answered before we run out of time.
About hashtags, should you hide them under the post? How many is too many? That's a good question. So when it comes to, I talk about stories and grid photos. On stories, if you're putting a post up, you can put the hashtag, and then if there's like you're resharing a post from someone's Instagram grid, then you can place the post on top of the hashtag, so you can't see it, but it still works. And when it comes to the grid with hashtags, what I usually do, I write my caption, and then I do lots of like dots underneath, kind of like leading down, and that's when I do the hashtags. I use about 8 to 12 hashtags, because any more is registers to Instagram as spam, so they won't push it as hard, and any less, well, to be honest, anything up to 12, to be honest, but they've got to be relevant, because if they're relevant, then that's when the posts get pushed. But if they're not, then they're pretty useless to be there, to be honest. Can you use the same email address, or would you need a different email for the Facebook account? It can be the same, yeah, just link them together really. I think it does actually have to be the same. So yeah, just to easily link them together, really, that's all. Cool.
Good stuff. We've had some really good questions, and we've had some really good comments as well. Everyone's saying that it's really useful. So it looks like it's a really good session. And I can see that a very famous pop singer, Sam Smith, has joined us. So let's see if that is the actual Sam Smith. We shall see. That'll be good. You could always hire Ollie to do your social media, Sam, if that is you. Yeah. So Ollie's going to be back with us next week to do some more bits and pieces. We're just sorting out the schedule for next week. It's things have gone completely mental. We've got like lots of things planned, so we're just kind of putting in time frames at the moment. So we'll let everyone know exactly when that is. But in the meantime, Ollie, how can people get in contact with you and hook up with you?
Yeah, so my Instagram is, I'll put it in here. If you have any questions, then you can just send them over. But also don't forget to follow Strictly Recruitment's Instagram as well, because there's always lots of insightful things on there for you to look at. There's lots of videos on there from actually the people's opinion on coronavirus when it first started, and everyone was saying how dramatic everyone was being, and now I think opinions may have changed on that. But yeah.
It was a great plug, Ollie. I purposely not been doing any plugs on any of these, so thank you for doing it. I like it.
That's okay. No, for sure.
So look, on behalf of everybody, Ollie, thanks for your time today. I know that you're really busy with stuff, and I know that you've got a meeting in like 2 or 3 minutes. So on behalf of everyone, thanks for giving up your time today.
Thank you.
And thanks to everyone that's joined us as well. As always, we hope you found it useful and got some good value from it. Any further thoughts on anything, just obviously drop us a line whenever.
Lovely. All right. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, everyone.
Cheers. No worries. Thanks, buddy. See you soon, guys.
Bye. 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 Bye.